We are learning how to sort materials into groups based on various parameters. Now all we are left with is the last parameter from our list. Let us have a look at it in detail. For understanding this, let's perform a simple activity. Let us take three materials: a wooden plank, a butter paper, and a glass plate. Now, if we hold these against a light source like the sun or a bulb, will the observations in all three be the same? No, they won't. There will be no light passing through the wooden plank. The butter paper will allow light to pass through it, but not very clearly. And the glass plate? Needless to say, light will travel through it very clearly. So, is this a parameter for the categorization of materials? Yes, it is. Is the material opaque or translucent, or is it transparent? This is how we sort materials based on transparency. Do we understand these terms well? What do we mean by opaque, translucent, and transparent? Okay, let's see what they are. The wooden plank did not allow even a single light ray to pass through it. That means nothing can be seen across or through a wooden plank. Similarly, what happens when we stand in sunlight? Our body casts a shadow. It does not allow light rays to pierce through it. In other words, we cannot see through a human body. Such objects are called opaque objects. They do not allow light to pass through them. As a result, nothing can be seen through opaque objects. Next category are the objects that allow light to pass through it, but not that well. What do we mean by that? Basically, light can pass through such objects, but not very clearly. Only some amount of light passes through such objects. But the things seen on the other side are not very clear. A rough image is formed, but not a clear image of objects on the other side of the translucent materials. The best examples of translucent materials include butter paper, colored plastic surfaces, and so on. And the last type is the one which helps us see everything clearly through it. Glass belongs to this category. Such substances which can be used to see everything clearly through them are called transparent substances. Transparent substances allow light to pass through it, and hence we can see everything across them clearly. So we have opaque, translucent, and transparent, three categories for sorting objects. Let's conclude by quickly reviewing the various parameters which help us sort materials into different groups. First comes the appearance of the material, that is lustrous, non-shiny, smooth, or rough. This is followed by the nature of the material, hard or soft. And next in the list is whether the material is soluble or insoluble in water. And if it's insoluble, does it sink or float? Lastly, materials are also grouped on the basis of their opacity. They could be opaque, translucent, or transparent in nature. This is how we categorize various materials around us in different groups.